So the story behind these crochet hooks, these are both from my school, the Career Center. I had the CAD and engineering class 3D print these. So I have 3D printed crochet hooks that I'm teaching people to crochet with. All right. Okay. Hi, I'm Grace Windeshofer. Today I'm going to be talking about my mental health and the things I've done to cope with it. I was diagnosed with depression and a panic disorder when I was 13-ish. I've always been an anxious kid, worrying about things that normal kids wouldn't worry about, like all my friends secretly hating me or talking behind my back about how I'm too much or too little or too obnoxious or don't talk enough. Things that normal 6-year-olds don't think about. All of my anxious thoughts kind of came to a head. All of my depressive episodes came to a head when I was 13, right around that diagnosis. I was struggling because I just realized that I was gay, and I grew up surrounded by a very rural Christian community. That's not good if you know anything about rural Christian communities. Being around people that constantly spoke down about gay people and said some really vile, nasty things made it really hard to come to terms with myself, and also took a huge toll on my mental health and depression. I heard people that were supposed to be my friends say awful, awful things. And after a while, you start thinking that you don't deserve to be alive because of the things you've heard. Listening to that really made me hate myself, and struggled a lot for a long time. At that point, I didn't really have the will to get out of bed. Didn't want to, there wasn't a point. I didn't really know how to process any of the things that I was feeling, so I turned to some nasty habits, self-harm, thinking about committing suicide pretty much all the time. It's the only thing I did to cope, which isn't very healthy thinking back. I got into a really vicious cycle of cutting, hating myself for cutting, thinking about killing myself, and then hating myself for thinking about killing myself. And yeah, that, yeah. I'm doing a lot better now, though, so it's okay. To give me something to do other than thinking about hating myself, I collected hobbies like playing cards. Started to walk outside. I picked flowers, picked a lot of flowers, dried the flowers, collected those too. I have a lot of them in my room now, still looking for more. I started to read a lot. I read on my phone most of the time. The paper books are good too. I used to read outside in a tree swing, and I started to crochet. I really enjoyed crocheting, and it finally gave me something that I had passion for, which was something that had been missing in my life for quite a few years. So I wasn't gonna let that slip out of my fingertips so easy. I learned how to make a blanket. I still have that blanket, it's not very good. And I hated it, it was awful. It took a year and a half, and then I got bored, and I decided to make a little triceratops. That kind of started the whole stuffed animal crocheting thing, which is my biggest hobby now. I crocheted a little animal to comfort myself when I was sad, and that started it all. Now I have that hobby turned into a small business and a huge humanitarian project. I take plastic bags, I turn them into yarn, and I crochet bedrolls for people experiencing homelessness. and I've gotten the entire Montcalm Area Career Center in on it. I've collected over 10,000 bags at this point. Still cutting them up, processing them, and crocheting with them. Yeah, that project connected me with a lot of great people, a lot of awesome teachers, some really determined classmates, and a part of the community that I hadn't really experienced before. I think, honestly, connecting with people in my community that accepted me for who I was and what I was the best thing I could have done. Connecting with people was the best thing I could have done for my mental health, even though I didn't want to most of the time.